Welcome back to the Hidden Archive, where legends come to life and mysteries never die. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because today I'll take you on a journey you will never forget. Tonight, I'll tell you a true story, something that happened in the year 2001 in a forgotten town in Mexico. A story about the most feared creature in Latin America, the Chupacabras. Year 2001. San Miguel del Monte, a small town hidden between the mountains of Veracruz, Mexico. A place where time seems frozen, where dirt roads are lit only by old lanterns, and where legends are whispered from generation to generation. That year, something began terrorizing the locals. Every morning, farmers would find their animals dead, goats, chickens, even dogs. But these weren't normal deaths. The bodies appeared completely drained of blood, with 2 precise punctures on the neck. No blood on the ground, no signs of struggle. The elders knew what it was. They had seen it decades before when they were young. They knew it had returned, the Chupacabras. A nightmare creature, glowing red eyes like burning coals, gray scaly skin, and sharp spines running down its back like some prehistoric reptile. Some claimed it was 1.5 meters tall, others swore it was the size of a man. But everyone agreed on one thing: when you saw it, you knew you were facing something that should not exist. Theories were endless: a military experiment, an extraterrestrial creature, an ancient curse. But in San Miguel del Monte, nobody dared to go out after nightfall. This is the story of Rodrigo Maldonado, a 34-year-old veterinarian from the town. Rodrigo was a man of science, a natural skeptic. For him, the Chupacabras was nothing more than collective hysteria, maybe sick coyotes or feral dogs. Until the night of September 23, 2001. Dramatic pause. That night, Rodrigo received a desperate call from Don Jacinto, a rancher who lived on the outskirts of town. Another goat had been attacked, but this time the animal was still breathing. Don Jacinto begged him to come immediately. It was 10 p.m. The streets were empty. Rodrigo got into his old Ford pickup and drove down the dirt road to the ranch, about 15 minutes from town. The full moon barely lit the path, and the radio only played static. When he arrived, Don Jacinto was waiting by the entrance with a shotgun and a pale face. "It's here," whispered the old man. "I heard it moving around the pens." Rodrigo grabbed his medical bag and headed to the corral where the goat lay. The poor animal was breathing weakly, with 2 deep punctures on its neck, but there was still hope. As he examined the goat, Rodrigo felt something strange. Absolute silence. No crickets, no wind, no barking in the distance, as if nature itself was holding its breath. Then he heard it. A sound he had never heard before, a mix of reptilian hiss and a deep guttural growl. It came from behind the stable. "Don Jacinto!" Rodrigo called, but Don Jacinto was frozen in place. The sound repeated, closer this time. Rodrigo felt the hairs on his neck rise. He slowly grabbed his flashlight and pointed it toward the source. What he saw froze his blood. 10 meters away, crouched on its hind legs like a deformed kangaroo, was a creature that defied logic. Its gray skin shimmered under the light, and its eyes, God, its eyes were like 2 red beacons staring into his soul with almost human intelligence. The spines on its back rose when the beam hit it, and it made that sound again, this time like a warning. Rodrigo was paralyzed. His scientific mind tried to explain it, but his animal instinct screamed one word: run. The creature tilted its head, studying him. And then, with impossible speed, it jumped. Not toward him, toward the goat. Rodrigo reacted on instinct. He grabbed a shovel leaning against the wall and swung it with all his strength, yelling a voice he didn't recognize. "Get out! Leave now!" He didn't hit the creature, but the sudden movement made it stop. It turned toward him, and for one eternal second, their eyes met. Then, something happened Rodrigo could never explain. The creature stepped back, as if it evaluated the situation and decided it wasn't worth it. It growled one last time, showed long, sharp fangs shining under the moonlight, and with a supernatural leap, disappeared into the darkness of the mountains. Rodrigo fell to his knees, trembling. Don Jacinto ran toward him with the shotgun, firing into the air, but it was long gone. "Did you see it?" Rodrigo asked with a shaky voice. "Yes," the old man answered. "Now you know it's real." That night, Rodrigo managed to stabilize the goat. It survived, something almost unheard of in Chupacabras attacks. Maybe because the attack was interrupted, or maybe something bigger was at play. Rodrigo was never the same again. The man of science who didn't believe in legends had seen the impossible. Every night before sleeping, he relives those glowing red eyes, and thanks God he survived. Rodrigo's story leaves us with many unanswered questions. What exactly did he see that night? An unknown animal? Something beyond our understanding? What's certain is that there are things in this world science can't explain yet. The Chupacabras remains a mystery. From Puerto Rico to Chile, from Texas to Veracruz, sightings continue. Thousands of people have reported encounters. Thousands of animals have been found in inexplicable conditions. Are there creatures sharing this world with us? Hiding in the shadows? Watching us from the mountains? Maybe we'll never know for sure. But stories like Rodrigo's remind us of one thing: respect. Respect for the unknown, for nature, for the legends our grandparents told us. Maybe they weren't entirely wrong. Rodrigo Maldonado still lives in San Miguel del Monte. He's no longer a skeptic. He wears a medal of St. George around his neck, the protector against beasts, and he never goes out at night without a flashlight and a crucifix, because he knows that out there, in the mountains of Mexico, something is still hunting in the dark. And you? What do you think? Is the Chupacabras real, or is it just an urban legend? Tell me your opinion down in the comments. If this story sent chills down your spine, don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who loves a good horror story. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Here on Channel Name, we explore the darkest mysteries and the most terrifying legends of Latin America. Remember, the next time you hear a strange noise at night, ask yourself, is it just the wind, or is something else out there? See you in the next video, if you dare to return. Until next time, and sweet nightmares.